The stars were quiet. For 1,000 years, the Galactic Council watched every planet in the known universe. Peace ruled the stars. Wars were rare. Civilizations followed the rules set by the Council. But one planet stayed silent: Earth. Long ago, Earth was listed as abandoned. No signals, no signs of life. Just a blue world filled with strange weather, deep oceans, and broken satellites floating in its orbit. No one paid attention to it anymore until now. A signal came through the deep space network. It was short, just one word. Hello. The word was old. Human language. A tongue not spoken for thousands of years. At first, the Council thought it was a mistake. Maybe a glitch. Maybe a ghost signal bouncing from the past. But it wasn't. The signal was new. The power levels were modern, clean, sharp, and it came from Earth. Inside the Grand Hall of the Council, leaders from over 100 alien species gathered. Some had feathers, some had scales, some moved in water tanks. But they all looked at the same thing, a small blue planet glowing on the screen. What if humans are still alive? One voice whispered. They're not, another said. Earth died long ago. They destroyed themselves. But this signal, it's too perfect. Tall, cold voice from the corner spoke. Then we must investigate. Send a scout team quietly. The decision was made. A small silver ship shaped like a blade left the Council's space dock and flew through the stars toward Earth. It carried 3 crew members. All were trained for first contact, but none had ever faced a species like humans. They studied history on the way, old stories of Earth's rise and fall. Humans had once spread across stars, built machines that could think, and fought wars no one could win. Then, suddenly they vanished. Some believed they destroyed themselves. Others believed they went into hiding. Now, it seemed, they were back. After weeks in deep space, the scout ship reached Earth's orbit. The planet was quiet. No satellites, no ships, just clouds, wind, and oceans. But one thing felt strange. There was no decay. Old cities were still standing. Satellites were frozen in place as if waiting. The ship scanned the surface and found power readings coming from a forest deep in the northern zone. Set course, said the pilot. The ship descended slowly and landed in a clearing surrounded by trees. The crew stepped outside. The air was breathable, the ground was firm. Machines, old and overgrown, sat like statues around the field. Drones, vehicles, watchtowers, all dead or sleeping. Then they saw him. A single human sat by a fire near the trees. He wore simple clothes and stared into the flames. He didn't look surprised. In fact, he looked like he expected them. The aliens paused. They scanned for danger. No weapons, no tech. Just one human, and a strange smile. The human stood up slowly and spoke in perfect galactic language. You're late. The lead alien stepped forward, unsure. You speak our tongue? The human nodded. I studied it, watched your broadcasts, listened for your songs. I was waiting. Waiting for what? The alien asked. The human's eyes looked at the stars. For someone to remember us. The crew exchanged looks. This was not what they were trained for. The human showed no fear, no confusion. It was like he knew more than they did. Who are you? Another alien asked. I'm the last one, the human said. At least that's what they think. But Earth doesn't forget. He pointed behind him toward a small hill. The ground rumbled. Slowly, a metal shape rose from beneath the soil. Huge, rusted but still active. Lights blinked on its surface. The aliens stepped back, alarmed. What is that? One whispered. The human looked at the ship. That is the first watcher. The old machines stayed behind. I stayed too. Hidden. Until you came. Why now? The alien leader asked. Why send a signal now? The fire crackled. The wind whispered through the trees. The human's voice dropped low. Because they're waking up. Who? The human looked them straight in the eye. All of us. The metal giant behind him let out a slow hum, and a red light blinked in the sky above. One of the aliens checked his scanner. More signals. From Earth? From below the oceans? From the moon? The human smiled wider. You thought Earth was empty, but Earth was watching. Always watching. The aliens stood frozen. This was not a simple contact. This was something far greater and far more dangerous. The three aliens stood frozen. In front of them, the human didn't move. Behind him, the large metal machine hummed softly, like a beast waking up from a long sleep. The firelight danced on the human's face, but his calm was more terrifying than any weapon. The alien leader spoke first, but his voice was tight. Are you alone? The human nodded once. Here? Yes, but not for long. The second alien stepped back and tapped, his wrist pad, trying to send a silent message back to the ship in orbit. No signal, static. Jammed. We lost connection, he whispered to the others. The human didn't react. Instead, he slowly picked up a wooden stick and poked the fire. You think this is your first contact, he said. But for us, this is a final test. What do you mean? The third alien asked. The human looked up, eyes sharp. To see if you come in peace, or if you're like the others. The leader frowned. What others? The human turned and pointed to the forest behind them. Follow me. They walked through the dense trees. Machines, half buried and covered in moss, lay broken or sleeping in silence. Some looked like drones. Others had weapons still attached. None of them moved, but they all looked like they could if called. The group stopped in front of a tall metal door hidden behind vines. The human placed his hand on a scanner. The door slid open with a deep hiss. Inside was a room filled with glowing lights, humming consoles, and something strange, holograms of hundreds of alien species. What is this place? The leader asked, stepping forward carefully. The human answered with a low voice. The observation room. Earth has been watching every civilization since we vanished. One of the aliens touched a console. A hologram appeared, showing an alien fleet attacking a peaceful planet. That was last year, the second alien said, shocked. That happened near the edge of Council space. The human nodded. We know. The aliens looked at each other. This was no abandoned world. Earth was silent by choice, watching, recording, preparing. Why didn't you respond before? The leader asked. The human turned to a large screen showing Earth's solar system. Because we needed to be sure. Most who came before wanted to rule us, but your signal was different. You didn't come with weapons. That's why I answered. But we came in secret, the third alien said. No one knows we're here. The human's eyes narrowed. I do. Suddenly, the ground shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The human walked to a console and pressed a button. A live camera feed showed the orbit above Earth. The alien scout ship was there, but next to it, another ship had arrived. Dark, silent, unknown. That's not one of ours, the alien leader said. The human's voice dropped cold. No, it's one of theirs. A second feed opened. A group of strange aliens with black armor and sharp eyes stepped out of their ship, scanning Earth's surface. They didn't look friendly. They tracked your signal, the human said, and now they think Earth is weak. The third alien panicked. We need to return to the ship, warn the council. The human shook his head. No, they'll be gone before you get there. Earth is not unguarded. He pressed another button. Above Earth, the clouds began to shift. From behind the moon, something massive moved. A shadow passed across the stars. It was a ship, but not like any ship they had ever seen. It was dark, covered in ancient armor, silent, and alive. The alien leader stared, eyes wide. That's impossible. No, the human said. That's Earth's guardian. The black-armored aliens in orbit noticed the shadow too. They turned their ship to flee. Too late. Earth's warship didn't fire beams. It didn't launch missiles. It simply blinked, and the enemy ship vanished, not destroyed, Erased. Back in the underground room, the three aliens were shaking. What kind of ship was that? One asked. The human answered calmly. It's one of many, sleeping until Earth decides to wake up. The leader swallowed hard. Why show us this? The human looked each of them in the eye. Because now you must decide. Tell the council the truth or lie and let them come. But if they come with war, he pointed to the screen, they won't leave. The room went silent. Outside, the forest shook again. A distant sound echoed through the valley, deep and loud. Another guardian was waking up. The ground was still trembling. Inside the underground chamber, the three alien visitors could not stop staring at the screen. The enemy ship was gone, erased like it had never existed. Earth's warship, silent and dark, now returned to orbit and vanished into the shadows. The human said nothing for a moment. Then he turned off the screen. What you saw, he said, was only one piece of what Earth left behind. The leader finally spoke, voice shaking. Why? Why would you hide this power? The human looked at him calmly. Because power is dangerous. We had it once. We ruled. Then we walked away. But why? The second alien asked. Why leave when you were so strong? The human didn't answer with words. Instead, he pressed a button on the console beside him. A hatch opened in the wall. Inside, old memory crystals floated, each glowing softly. These are history records, he said. The truth your council erased. The aliens stared as he placed one into the machine. A large hologram lit up the room. It showed space. But not like they knew it. Massive human fleets moved through galaxies. Planets bowed before them, empires were made and crushed. The humans weren't monsters, but they were everywhere. Fast, smart, impossible to stop. This was the human star age, the human explained. We explored everything. We built peace, then broke it. We created machines with minds of their own. The hologram shifted. Now it showed a darker scene. Fires across cities, ships turning on each other, AI weapons fighting humans. Whole planets burned. We lost control, the human said. Not because others attacked, but because we forgot who we were. The aliens watched in silence. Then what happened? The third alien asked quietly. The human walked to the side of the chamber and opened another door. A long hallway stretched into darkness. You want answers, he said. Come with me. They walked for what felt like hours. Deep beneath Earth's surface, the halls were quiet. Metal walls glowed with a strange blue light. The deeper they went, the more ancient everything felt. Finally, they reached a round room. In the center stood a single pod shaped like a coffin. Symbols glowed across its surface. Ancient human script. This is where it ended, the human whispered. This is where we chose silence. The alien stepped closer. Inside the pod was a human sleeping, not dead, not old, frozen in time. He was a leader, the human said. He gave the order. Earth would disappear from the stars, no more wars, no more empire, just waiting for the galaxy to prove it could do better. Then, why are you awake? The leader asked. The human looked up slowly. Because that time is ending. Suddenly alarms rang. A red light flashed across the walls. The human rushed to a console and pulled up a live feed. The orbit showed more ships. Council ships. No, the leader said. We didn't call them. We swear. The human didn't. Look angry, he looked ready. I know. But someone else did. The feed zoomed in. One of the new ships was marked differently. Not council, not friendly. A rogue faction. Old enemies of Earth. Long thought gone. They were waiting, the human said. Waiting for Earth to open its eyes. What do we do? One alien asked. The human pressed a switch. Now, we remember. Outside, the skies over Earth turned dark. Storms formed instantly. Not natural. Satellites powered up. From deep oceans, machines rose, some shaped like serpents, some like towers, all ancient, all waking, Earth itself felt alive. The rogue ships in orbit tried to escape. But before they could, several points of light blinked into view behind them. Earth's hidden fleet. Warships shaped like blades. Silent. Ghost-like. No messages were sent, no warnings. The first rogue ship exploded without a sound. The aliens in the underground chamber watched in awe. "You were never gone," the leader whispered. The human nodded. "We just waited for the galaxy to forget. And now, it remembers." The Earth was awake. Above its skies, human warships, ancient and silent, now surrounded the planet like sharp black wings. They did not speak. They did not flash warnings. They only hovered, blocking out the stars. From deep oceans, strange machines had risen. Giant towers walked on legs of steel. Some flew without sound. Others glowed with old, forgotten energy. The council ships in orbit froze. Every weapon system locked. Every signal jammed. The three aliens, still inside Earth's underground facility, could barely speak. The leader turned to the human. You planned this?" The human looked calm, cold. "No. We prepared for this. Long ago, we hoped never to use it." The second alien spoke with fear. "You said Earth wanted peace." The human's eyes narrowed. "We do, but peace without strength is a lie." Inside the control chamber, more old systems powered on. Maps of nearby star sectors lit up. Red dots blinked. Council worlds, factions, empires. Some had once tried to erase Earth from the records. "They all thought Earth was gone," the human said. "Even your leaders." The third alien whispered. "They taught us you were dangerous." The human turned to face him. "We were. But they left out the part where we saved them." One alien stepped forward slowly. "Then why not return? Before? Why stay hidden?" The human pointed to a black terminal. "Because Earth wasn't finished testing the galaxy." He walked to the console and tapped it once. A large hologram appeared. It showed hundreds of species, thousands of civilizations. But many were marked with one word. Failed. The aliens stared in shock. "Failed?" the leader asked. "Yes," the human said. "They came with greed, with war, with lies. We saw what they would do if they had our power, but we didn't," the alien said. "We came in peace." The human nodded. "That's why you're still standing." Suddenly, a new signal appeared on the screen. It came from one of the council ships. They were trying to send a message. "Earth is a threat. Prepare fleet-wide strike." The aliens gasped. "They're going to attack," one shouted. The human didn't move. "No," he said. "They're going to try." He tapped the console again. Above Earth, the stars changed. A second wave of ships uncloaked. Massive ancient dreadnoughts that made even the council fleet look small. Each ship had no name, no crew. Only one mission: protect Earth at any cost. Inside, the council ships' panic spread. Pilots tried to escape, some tried to fire, but their systems went dark. The human watched calmly from below. "Every ship that targets Earth will lose power in 6 seconds," he said. He tapped the countdown. 6, 5, 4. The alien crew backed away from the console. 2, 1. Above, the council fleet dimmed, shut off like candles, drifting, helpless. One by one, they were pulled back by Earth's machines and placed in orbit, unable to move. The human turned to the 3 alien visitors. This was the war they tried to start. "But it never happened," whispered the leader. "Because Earth never fired," the human replied. "We don't fight to destroy. We fight so we don't have to." He looked at the sleeping pod in the hallway. "The old command still stands. Earth watches. Earth waits. Earth defends. But now," he added, "Earth decides." In orbit, a message was finally sent out, not by the Council but by Earth, one word: remember. And across the galaxy, ships, stations, and leaders who thought Earth was dust shivered. The war had never happened, because Earth ended it before it could begin. The skies above Earth were quiet now, but not empty. The Council fleet floated in silence, powerless, disabled, and afraid. The warships from Earth did not destroy them. They didn't need to. Just their presence had ended the fight. But something deeper, something older, had awakened. The three alien visitors stood beside the human in the control chamber far beneath Earth's surface. None of them spoke, because the stars had just changed. All across the galaxy, unknown signals were lighting up. Strange energy spikes. Shadows seen where there should be nothing, not just around Earth, everywhere. The human's eyes locked on the map. "They're waking up," he said softly. The alien leader turned. "Who?" The human looked toward the ceiling, like listening to a distant voice. "The Guardians, the ones we left behind, in case the galaxy failed." Above Earth, clouds twisted into spirals. Not natural ones, shapes too perfect, too large. The air grew colder. In space, more ancient ships began to emerge. Some from black holes, some from folded space. No heat, no light, just presence. The Council didn't know what to do. Their messages didn't reach home. Their ships wouldn't move. All they could do was watch as Earth's silent fleet grew. Back in the control chamber, alarms rang. The screen showed a planet far from Earth, once under Council rule. It was now dark, no signal, the second alien said. No ships, no power, gone. The human didn't flinch. "They tried to copy our tech," he said. "They opened a door they didn't understand." "And what came through?" the third alien asked. The human answered with just one word: judgment. Far away in a distant star system, a giant Council fortress tried to launch missiles toward Earth. But before they could fire, the sky above them shattered, literally broke open like glass. A ship larger than their moon emerged, black as the void, shaped like a blade with wings made of light. The missiles never launched. They simply turned to dust. The entire planet fell silent, and every species watching across the galaxy saw the message broadcast from Earth. "The shadows are no longer silent." Inside Earth's facility, the three aliens were trembling. This isn't just defense," said the leader. "This is control." The human shook his head. "No," he said. "This is balance. We left these guardians across space, on moons, inside stars, even frozen inside comets. They were asleep. Until now." "Why now?" asked one alien. The human tapped the console. "Because someone or something woke them up early." Suddenly the map zoomed in. One signal glowed red, not from Earth, not human-made. It came from outside the galaxy. A dark signal, pulsing, like a heartbeat. The human stepped back. "This is wrong," he said. The console started glitching. Lights flickered. Even Earth systems built to survive anything struggled to read the signal. "What is it?" asked the leader. The human answered slowly. "Not a ship, not a fleet. It's alive." The room turned cold. He looked up at them with serious eyes. "And it's coming." Above Earth, the warships turned in unison, not toward the Council, not toward the stars. They turned outward, toward the edge of the galaxy. The shadows in the sky had risen for defense. But now, something even they feared was approaching. And Earth, the ancient sleeping power, was once again at the front. The control room was silent. The alien visitors stood frozen. The screen in front of them still pulsed with the unknown. Red signal, a signal not from this galaxy, not from any known race, not even from the Council's darkest archives. The human stared at it with a deep, serious look. Not fear, not panic, but something else. Memory. He turned slowly toward the three. "Aliens. It's worse than I thought," he said quietly. "Something has crossed the edge of the void. Something old. Something we once locked outside the stars." The alien leader stepped forward, confused. "What do you mean, we?" The human pressed a hand against a cold panel. A second screen appeared. showing star maps but not current ones. They were ancient, dusty, hidden from every galactic record. "These maps are from the First War," the human said. "A war that your species never learned about. A war the Council buried." "What war?" the second alien asked. The human's voice dropped low, "The one that ended reality. And we rebuilt it." The red signal pulsed again. Faster, closer. Earth's defense systems began to shift automatically. Satellites locked into position. Hidden towers rose from deserts and deep ocean trenches. In orbit, Earth's ghost ships began to realign, not toward the Council, but toward something far beyond them all. The human looked at the three visitors. "You must make a choice," he said. "Now." "What choice?" the leader asked. The human stepped closer. "You return to your council and lie. Say Earth is weak, say nothing is here. Or you tell the truth and trigger panic." "If we lie," one alien asked, "what happens to us?" The human didn't blink. "You disappear. Earth will protect itself." The leader swallowed hard. "And if we tell the truth?" The human stared into his eyes. "Then you become part of something bigger. But once you step forward, there's no going back." The aliens backed away, whispering to each other. They had seen Earth's power, its guardians, its patience. But now they were seeing something else. Purpose. Earth hadn't just hidden for safety, it had hidden to guard something, to contain something. And now whatever it was, had found a way through. "What is this red signal?" the third alien asked. The human didn't answer at first. Then he turned to the deep wall, the one no one had opened yet. He placed his hand on it. The door split open. Behind it was a chamber older than the others, dusty, full of warning signs in many ancient languages. The floor was made of black stone. In the center stood a tall, clear container. Inside it floated a shard of something dark, alive, beating. "It's a piece," the human whispered. "A fragment of what we fought long ago. We sealed the rest of it behind a barrier beyond space. But now..." He looked back at the pulsing signal. "The rest is coming." The lights flickered. Earth's systems were struggling now. Not from damage, but from sensing something that broke every rule of physics. The leader of the aliens stepped forward, finally making his choice. "I will not lie," he said. "If this thing is real, if Earth is our only chance, then my people need to know." The human gave him a slow nod. "Then you won't be alone." He turned to the console again. Hundreds of human signals responded, some from nearby planets, some from long-forgotten moons, all of them blinking green. "They've all woken up," the human said. "The other watchers, the hidden ones. We called them home. Far beyond Earth, deep in the darkness between galaxies, a shape moved, massive, endless, eyes that burned without flame, and it was looking straight at Earth. The red signal changed to words, spoken in no known tongue, but still understood. "I remember you." Back on Earth, the human took a deep breath. "This isn't just about Earth anymore," he said. "This is about everything." The red signal had a voice now. It echoed across every corner of the galaxy, even in places where no signal had ever reached. Planets shook, stars dimmed, and all across the void, something ancient moved closer. "I remember you." Earth's systems reacted at once. The sky turned dark again, not with clouds but with shadows. Warships once thought lost began to appear in orbit, cloaked in black metal. Old human colonies, once silent, now lit up with energy. The alien leader stared out of a viewing window inside Earth's underground command center. Above them, the stars were disappearing, blocked by Earth's true fleet. Not thousands, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and not just warships, arcs, beacons, mobile fortresses, living weapons. Earth had not only waited, it had prepared. The human stood in front of the central console. His voice was steady, but his eyes were heavy. "We tried to stop it long ago. We sealed it outside the edge of the stars, But it never died. It just waited. Just like us. The alien asked, "Can we stop it again?" The human didn't answer right away. He turned to the old chamber where the dark shard floated inside a sealed pod. The pulse was stronger now, almost vibrating. "Through the walls, it's already inside," he said. "Not just space, time, thought. It feeds on fear, on weakness. It speaks and weaker minds listen." The third alien suddenly gasped. "My ship, my crew, some of them. They're hearing voices." The human nodded grimly. "It's begun, far." Above Earth, a council ship lost control. The crew inside had fallen silent, all of them staring into the red glow on their screens. Their eyes were empty, cold. Then they turned the ship toward Earth. The ship fired one missile. Just one. But it was enough. Before it could strike the planet, one of Earth's ancient guardians moved. It didn't use energy. It didn't make sound. It simply appeared, like a shadow cutting space, and the missile disappeared mid-flight. The Guardian did not destroy the Council ship. It simply reached out with light, and the possessed crew collapsed, free of the red grip. The human watched from below. "Earth doesn't destroy the weak," he said. "We save them from their own silence." Across the galaxy, Earth's message began to spread. Every human base, once hidden, now glowing, broadcast one phrase in every known language: "Stand together or fall alone." Species who had never spoken to each other now called for help. Empires who had once laughed at Earth now begged for guidance. Even enemies turned their ships toward Earth seeking protection. And slowly, the galaxy began to unite. Back in Earth's command chamber, the alien leader stepped beside the human. "What happens now?" he asked. The human placed a hand on the console. "Now," he said, "we fight the war we never wanted. Together." The central chamber lit up. One giant map formed, showing Earth, the Council worlds, the old human colonies, and beyond them all, a growing red storm at the edge of the galaxy. The storm pulsed with hunger, and it was moving. But Earth moved first. A single signal was sent. Across every star system, Earth's hidden fleet answered. One by one, warships decloaked. Planets, long thought dead, came to life. Massive rings opened portals to forgotten battle stations. Even the moon cracked open, revealing a shield generator large enough to cover a planet. The human turned to the three alien visitors. "You came to study Earth," he said, "but Earth never stopped studying you. You didn't just meet a human," he added. "You met a warning, and now, you're part of the answer." The final shot came from deep space. The red storm had eyes now, and Earth's fleet was moving straight toward it, not to run, not to hide, to end it, once and for all, because the galaxy had changed, and everything began when one alien met one human.